Revs starting to rise, and lights go out. Away they go. A good start by Greg Hill on pole position. And they head off down towards Copse Corner for the first time. Pete O'Connor on his right, and they're mirror to mirror as they go through the first corner. But they've got quite a few car lengths over the rest of them. Chris Lawrence is there in third place in the 197, chasing after these two 182s that are still side by side. Down towards Beckett's for the first time. It is the green machine that has got its nose in front, but it's O'Connor on the inside. Hill going much deeper, taking a wider line, and I think he's going to lose the position.
It's a question of trying to stay out of the way, I think, and O'Connor through down that gap on the inside. He wasn't quite close enough initially, but Greg Hill left the door open. Now he pulls out to the right-hand side of the circuit, the outside approaching. Lawrence is third. Griffiths is in fourth place. Enoch is next up. Then it's Richardson by the looks of things. And you heard them discuss earlier on how the smaller engined 182s have a little bit of an advantage if they can get away. They're being chased by the 197s, but not quite there at the moment.
Lap one completed then. 0.3 of a second advantage for Pete O'Connor over Greg Hill in second. Griffiths it is that's up to third position. He's cleared. Chris Lawrence now had to make up a little bit of ground. Fortunately for him, the grid for this race set by fastest laps rather than finishing positions from race one.
It was an isolator switch, wasn't it, on the ignition that
right.
cut out on Griffiths' car.
And he's lost the position again here to Chris Lawrence, or has he? Trying to get the car back up on the inside of these two who've raced closely together for a few seasons. Been 182s previously, now in the 197s. And they're mirror to mirror as they head on to the Wellington Straight once again with, I think it's Enoch just behind them in the third of the 182s. Yes, it is. Lawrence on the inside here, Griffiths on the outside, and Lawrence has positional advantage for the moment, and he's made that move stick at Brooklands, I think.
Enoch's got much closer to them as a result. Richardson is next up behind them.
Chris Lawrence also trying to go for third in the championship here. He's got Richardson and Ransom, his rivals. So Lawrence second in class. So I think, better in class position than either of his two rivals. So he should finish third in the championship if things stay this way for the remaining 12.5 minutes that we have left in this K-Tech Racing Clay Sport Championship season. Only a 13 race season. We lost that second race at Alton Park rather than 14 that were planned. We've had some excellent racing this year in the Clios, and it's great to see how evenly matched the 187s and the 182s and the 197s have been.
In line astern then, the top five. Ransom in the blue car on the right hand side. Up at the top of the picture, Greg Hill goes to the outside down towards Brooklands Corner. Don't know whether he's made it through or not. He hasn't. Still controlling the race is Pete O'Connor.
Yes, he's pulled out a bit more of a gap, hasn't he? 0.6 of a second at the end of lap 2. Let's see if he's extended it further at the end of lap 3, which they're about to complete. Over the timing line they'll go any moment, and it's come down actually to 0.488. A succession of drivers doing fastest laps of the race there, but it was Chris Lawrence that has done out a 109.937 as the best lap of the race so far. In third position we've got Stephen Richardson there, with Jan Whittaker just behind him. So Richardson lost out to Darren Ransom on the previous lap, and now he's got another of the 197s right behind him. But here's the top top three in actual fact, and they're still pretty close together.
Yeah, it's a really good tussle. They've dropped Justin Griffiths for the time being. He's now going to be more worried about whether Mark Haynott and Darren Ransom can close up behind him. Richardson dropping away from them. Greg Hill leaves his braking as late as he dares. A little bit closer this time going into Brooklands, and they go through that corner with the inside rear wheel kind of pogoing over the apex of the corner. But Lawrence looking a bit threatening here as he comes off, and they were saying they've got the pucker diffs in the 197s, haven't they, and bigger brakes, so you can drive out of the corner should be very strong, but the car is heavier. So top three breaking away now. And it is Peter O'Connor in 72, 75 is Greg Hill, and in third place is one, which is Chris Lawrence. There's Justin Griffiths in fourth place, Behind him, Mark Aynott and Darren Ransom.
Yeah.
Way out wide.
Indeed. Lawrence has done another aim shop fastest lap of the race, a 109.752. Aynott and Griffiths there disputing position, 4th and 5th, and Ransom trying to buy into this as well, using a lot of curb there. Beckett is still in 6th position at the moment. Yeah, Whittaker's 7th, so he has got the better of Stephen Richardson, who's dropped down to 8th position. Here are the leaders into Brooklands for the 5th time. About 2 car lengths between O'Connor and Hill. And Hill and Lawrence, a similar gap back. They turn their way through Brooklands. Now they change direction sharply to the right-hander at Luffield. Long right-hander this one. Emerge from that, run out wide over the curb on the exit of the corner. Then moving across the circuit to take the apex on the inside at Woodcote, then running out again to the outside curb on the exit of the corner, staying on that left-hand side of the circuit, then all the way until they get to Copse Corner, more or less.
Yeah, I think Greg Hill lost a bit of time going into Brooklands that time. Just didn't quite get the traction through it, but he's now got his mirrors full of Chris Lawrence. There's Mark Aynott ahead of Griffiths and Ransom.
Yeah, and that's the dispute for 4th position. Jan Whittaker, you can see in the background there, not getting any. To get 6 tenths per second closer to them on the previous lap, so we might have Jan Whittaker trying to buy into that, make it a 4-way scrap for 4th place before the end of this race. There's still more than half of it to go, 8 minutes or so left. There's a little scrap further down the order involving, I think, Nick Harrison. Fantastically close racing. We've had 5 laps, still the top 10 separated by less than 10 seconds, the whole field by less than 16. So very evenly matched racing in this K-Tech Racing Clio Sport Championship. It's a very good starting point for anyone wanting to get involved in circuit racing.
That's Harrison working on north there, we saw on our middle of our picture.
Looking towards the halfway mark of this race. The gap has gone out to 9 tenths of a second now because Pete O'Connor did a personal best lap that time through. Here's the dispute for 4th, 55 and 30, about fighting for 5th position because Enoch just a half a car length ahead of both of them. There's Nick Harrison squeezing through on the inside of number 18, which is the car of Mark Witherington. So Nick Harrison in that 197, making up places on the 182s there. Fight for 4th here, Marcus turning its way through, and Whittaker has caught them now.
Yeah, he has. That's the 297 car, the black car of Whittaker. And that's a quartet of 197s. There's North in the 10 car. Sister car to O'Connor's out front.
Greg Hill's just in the fastest lap of the race, a 109.739. The aim shot fastest lap of the race for Greg Hill, and he's closed the gap a smidge, only about a tenth or so to O'Connor. It's still about 3/4 of a second. Hill, who was very pleased with his performance in the first race. I'm sure he'd love to get a win to bear out here for this season. There's now a battle on between these two 197s because Whittaker right with Darren Ransom in the number 30 car. Now Ransom, a real stalwart of the Clios, has been competing in it for some time. Yet Whittaker, in contrast, is a newcomer, only done about 2/3 of this season, I think. It's all he has done in the championship this year. Tries to outbrake Ransom into Brooklands corner, and he makes that work, I think, although Ransom, yeah, back up on the inside for Luffield corner, Marcus.
Yeah, that was. He came in really hard, didn't he? He found it difficult once he'd got to the apex to actually get an exit from the corner,
yeah.
And he had to give way to Darren Ransom again on the on that exit.
So we've got 5.5 minutes left.
Gap's come down by another 10.606.
Yeah, the race for victory not over between Pete O'Connor and Greg Hill. And Chris Lawrence in third. He's only half a second behind them as well. So still a 3-way fight for the lead as we've been watching action further back down the order. Ransom and Whittaker still at it. And as they exchange positions briefly at Brooklands, they've lost ground to the two ahead of them, Mark Enott and Justin Griffiths.
Interesting line there for the 18 car, or for Witherington. Witherington drops at the back of that group. Someone found Powney's puddle there for a moment.
It's 13.
He's still holding Griffiths off, isn't he?
He is. It might bring the next two back into it if they work with each other rather than fight each other as they did on the first lap. Griffiths, it looked like he's going to get a better run, didn't it? But then, as they accelerate their way towards Woodcote Corner, it's Enott that's just able to drag his way clear in those 182s.
The fastest lap, the race leader, Ian?
Yeah, 109.629, but only just over a tenth faster than Hill, so the gap still less than 3/4 of a second between them. They're pushing each other on. In the first race, the fastest lap was a 109.706. They've gone a little bit faster than that. Not close to the lap record for the Class A cars, which is 109.21 though. Lap record for Class B even faster, 108.41. Andrew Harding setting that 2.5 years ago. Towards the right hand they go. You've got these two battling for fourth position. As you can see, the first three just going through shot there. It's the 13 car of Enott, the 55 car of Griffiths. We've got Ransom just behind them, but maybe a tenth apart. There's the first three going over the line then. O'Connor, Hill and Lawrence. O'Connor that time pulling out about another tenth over Hill, so the gap now more than 8/10 of a second. So is Hill even going to be able to hold on to second place here, Marcus?
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? I mean, I don't know that they're going to find any lap traffic within the race, because that field is so tightly packed in terms of times. Is they're not under pressure from Griffiths, who is, dare I say it, hustling him in the Hustle Motorsport car. Ransom and Whitaker are the chasers. Then it's Richardson, and behind Richardson is North.
Griffiths thought about a look up the inside of Enott there.
He may have bigger brakes, but you've got a heavier car. It takes a bit more effort to stop. It wasn't quite close enough.
That's right. The fight still going on between those two. Probably going to be 2 more laps, I would think. It was a 13-lap race earlier on. A new lap, fastest lap for O'Connor, 109.629 now. And he pulled out 3/10 on Hill that time, so he's got the bit between his teeth now as Pete O'Connor, looking to end the season with another victory to make it 4 in a row and 5 for the season. That included one at Castle Combe in a very heavily truncated race due to an unfortunate incident that involved another driver. So I think morally, O'Connor's probably counted his Stetson win as his first real win, taking the checkered flag as it were. He's won since at Alton Park, and now on course for his second win of the day here at Silverstone as well.
Yes, looks that way. This looks a slightly better timed run from Griffiths, but he's not close enough to Enott. He takes more speed into the corner. Griffiths tweaks his car hard left. Inside rear wheel, both types, comes off the ground. Now, here's an opportunity potentially. Getting there, if you can squeeze down. No, he hasn't got quite the legs on the lower powered but lighter, smaller car.
So last lap of the race then underway. Lead is 1.4 seconds now, so that's probably not going to change. This is the closest battle at the moment, I think, between Enott and Griffiths, with Ransom and Whitaker not too far behind. It's the fight for fourth position. Cars from 2 different classes, of course points scored within the classes rather than based on overall finishing position in the Clios. Here they come out of Beckett's for the final time up the Wellington Straight once more.
Yep, they're on the Wellington Straight, heading down towards Brooklands Corner. And I think Enoch's managed to hang on to that place. But here is our winner, Peter O'Connor, pogoing into Luffield. Gets the power down. Looks like he's home and dry for a double today here at Silverstone on the national circuit. And out front it is going to be O'Connor, who wins from Greg Hill by 1.5 seconds. Third place is Chris Lawrence, who wins the 197 class. Here's the chase group. It is Enoch with the in his 182 with the 197s of Griffiths, Ransom and Whitaker in line astern to his left as they cross the line. Slowing is one there towards the end, which I think was Harrison dropping back on that last lap.
The last couple of cars still to come through. That position, third position overall, and the class win there for Chris Lawrence. That seals third place in the championship for him as well, and as well as second place within Class B to Justin Griffiths. So it was another win for Pete O'Connor then, his fourth victory of the season. The entire field all on the lead lap, 40 seconds between them. Here is that result then. Pete O'Connor, 13 laps completed in the 15 minutes. In car 72, beating number 75 Greg Hill by 1.5 seconds. Third was number 1 Chris Lawrence, the winner of Class B. He was 2.5 seconds behind the overall leader. Fourth, number 13 Mark Enoch, doing well to keep Justin Griffiths at bay throughout. Griffiths second in class. And then Darren Ransom in 6th place overall, number 30, third in class, ahead of 297 Jan Whitaker, 10 Joshua North, 7 Stephen Richardson, 62 Max Martin at the back of the top 10, ahead of Nick Harrison, Jack McConnell, Mark Witherington and Nick Passmore. Matt Hipkins, Matthew Poncia and Chloe Daly completing the 17 finishes. All 17 cars made it to the checkered flag, as they did in the first race as well, which is excellent to see. That brings to an end the K-Tech Racing Clio Sport Championship season. We look forward to more of that again in 2025. We've got 4 more races still to come today, more tin top action next with the Tiki World Type R Trophy. Then we've got the Aim Shop Mazda 7s, where the championship is still to be decided. The PBS Brakes Hot House Championship and the BMW Car Club Racing Championship will conclude the day's racing here at Silverstone. But first of all, let's head down to hear more from Joshua Barrett with some successful Clio drivers.
And that's the conclusion then of the K-Tech Racing Clio Sport Championship for 2024, with the champion winning, Pete O'Connor, after a close battle, but really a dominant end to the season for Pete. Well done, Pete, a double win. What a way to end the season for you.
That was perfect, wasn't it? I got a better start than the first one, and then Greg was right on me for the first 5 or 6 laps, but then after that, put in like 6 laps within like 1,000th of each other, and just came to me then, and he was getting harried by Chris, so yeah, car was mega.
That start, going through cops, the two of you, literally wing mirror to wing mirror.
Yeah, absolutely fair, not even a scrap on them, and then we went side by side through there, and it was a good race, yeah, so JG and DUS did a great job, so big thanks to James and the team. They've been amazing all year, right? Car's not missed a beat, I've not been outside the top 2 in class, so yeah, big shout out to the boys, did a great job.
Yeah, you can really be any better if you tried.
No. Compared to last year when I was 3 engines, I didn't even make the first lap last year of here and had a new car. So, yeah, it's a pretty sweet year. So, yeah, big shout out and thanks to everyone. Yeah, 750.
Are you back next year or something a bit different?
200 built.
Yeah.
Yes, I've already succumbed to that. So blame Justin and everyone for Snetterton. So, yeah, this car will be out with somebody else, and then 200 next year back with JG. So it'll be brilliant.
And some different people to sort of race against in a similar car. So good luck with that. Well done. Next car's already coming, so let's have a word with Greg. Another podium, Greg. They come together.
Yeah. I mean, I've been screaming in the car, so I've pretty much lost my voice. But yeah, two in a day. That's amazing. I'm absolutely stoked. Yeah, I've had a great day.
And right with Pete all day, who's obviously been the man to beat this year.
Yeah, I've never even been close to him on the track before. So I mean, he got the lead and gapped us there, just kept it like a second or whatever it was. But I was trying everything I could to even, get into his toe to close the gap. But yeah, I mean, fair play, he's the champion and he very much deserving him. But yeah, I'm buzzing. I can't believe I've got close to him. So yeah, awesome day. Yeah,
well done, and good. I hope we see you out sometime soon, because you're showing your speed now. Chris in 3rd position, but the class win, so a good way to end the year for you.
Yeah, I came here to win 2 Class Bs, so we did that. Job done. Couldn't do anything with these boys, hanging on to them just on the brakes and coming out the corners, but down the straights they're too quick at the minute. They're on this layout. Well, no, really good race, really enjoyable.
Just heard from Pete that he's going to be out in a similar car next year, so you have some different competition in Class B.
No, that'll be good. We need more 197s and 200s on the grid. It'll be going back a few years, like when there was a grid full of 182s. It was cracking racing. We're just going through this transformation period where we need a few more new cars on the grid to really mix it up.
And you'll be back, I'm sure, next year.
Yeah, we're going to give it another go.
Yeah.
We want to try and win the championship. So this year went a little bit sour, but we didn't give up. We never give up. I want to come here and do 2 class wins, so we've done that.
Well done. See you next year. So that's the end of the Clio Championship season, but that's not the end of the race day, because already on the grid behind us, over the pit wall, are Type R Trophy cars. So the Tiggo R Type R Trophy up next here at Silverstone.